So in my opinion, yours are a little bit have more taste. You know, you have something there. So great, you have a cool design, but do it on a regular T-shirt, and see if you can actually sell them. Sell them for a normal price. Don't oversell them. You know, what's the price point of a T-shirt that people actually pay for?
That's such a broad range. Like, you can go from a $2 T-shirt.
No,
at
I'm not talking
Walmart
about that. No, I'm
to
talking about
a Balenciaga.
No, you're not a Balenciaga. That these guys.
Wait,
spend
what are you
millions
saying? Are you saying like the average shirt? What's like
not
the average?
average. No, I'm not talking about average. I'm talking about a Billabong shirt. Billabong T-shirt.
Billabong's out of business. Pick a
Tax like a Billabong T-shirt is like 36.
like
bucks.
this shirt. This shirt I got yesterday from Abercrombie. It was $30. This shirt.
Okay, but that has zero. Okay, that's your price point. Look, your price point has to be either $29 or it has to be your price point. Tilly's, you can buy a T-shirt for $16. Your price point should be $29, in my opinion. How are you gonna compete with this for $7.99? And this for
Because that's not gonna
$19.99?
last you.
Huh?
That's not gonna last you.
But people don't care. You're not in Europe, look, where people are looking for high quality and they'll pay up. In the US, people throw away their clothing all the time. People want to buy a new T-shirt every 4 or 5 months.
I know, it's a sad reality.
In Europe, people pay up because they want the quality and they don't want to spend a lot of money buying the next one. They just want to have a good one that will last them a long time. That's not how it is in the US. What's your customer? Is your customer from Europe? You can't even afford the shipping cost to Europe. Your shirt wouldn't be justified. Your customer is the US customer. And you gotta stick to that $29. $6? Are you kidding me?
No, it's not gonna last you.
Your price point should be about $29.
Well, this is kind of interesting. I was thinking about this before. A lot of, like, for example, when we go to Egypt, we see American businesses just copied and pasted in Egypt. So, like, we went to Egypt and I saw, like, people reselling Prime. Because, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what Prime is? It's like that drink I sent you. And, like, you can't get it in Egypt, so people they got it reshipped from America to Egypt and they're selling it for more in Egypt. The same principles. It's like, whatever's trendy in America, whatever was trendy in America 5 years ago is trendy in Egypt right now. Like, things, and across the world, things just like, America's kind of a hub.
But I wouldn't
trends.
say it's a 5 year. Maybe it's a 6 months where
there's like a delay.
The world is really becoming like a small village. If something comes out here, people are gonna know about it in Egypt in a couple months.
But there's
Maybe
a latency.
But it's not a 5 years. It's 6 months maybe.
Okay, all right. But there's a latency, right? No, even with the architecture styles, like the difference is 5 years from America to Egypt. Like, you see what they're building right now in Egypt, and I'm like, okay, that was what was cool in America 5 years ago.
I don't know. Let's just talk about fashion. Let's not talk about architecture.
Well, it relates, but we don't have to talk about it.
That's not.
We don't have to talk about it.
It could.
What I'm seeing is, I think this is one of the rare cases where America is behind, where like Europe is ahead of us, which is not often. Europe is ahead of us in fashion, where like that idea of getting stuff that's
Europe is always ahead of the. You don't think that the trend setting is happening in France and Italy? It's not happening in the US. When I was in Europe, I saw the suits where people were wearing the suits with no-show socks and that look in Italy before it came in the US a year later.
Who am I kidding? I forgot, like, Italy, France, they all run fashion. So
they all run fashion ahead of the US.
Yeah,
I always.
Forgot. So, like, why can't I just do what they're doing here then? Or, like, it's not even what they're doing. It's just, like, the same principle that more clothing that will last you longer, you should buy.
That's not the American
getting
consumer.
Something that's shit quality that you're going to wear 5 times.
That's not the American consumer. And when you do a good quality stuff, you're not doing it to make a profit margin. You're doing it because you're hoping that people recognize that, so you have repeat customers. When you're selling quality, you're looking for repeat customers, not to make money the first round.
No, exactly.
But again, your customer base, in my opinion, you're making stuff for people your age.
Okay.
Guys your age don't want to spend a lot of money.
True.
In my opinion, you should do designs that will work for somebody from the age 13 to age 50, not just 13 to 19. The fashion. You want to have a bigger spectrum of people that would buy your stuff.
Okay, but here's the thing. People who are 50 and people who are 13 always want to be people who are 25, my age.
Fine.
So they want to take our fashion.
Yeah,
so that's
make
why it's
sure,
not a problem.
Make sure
with
the
my
guy in
designs.
his 30 would actually say, "Oh, I want to buy that."
I don't think my issue is the design. Like the design, I think my designs are fine. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is not knowing who the designs are for. Because I like the designs. I have friends who like the design. I know the designs are good. Like I just know. I know because the quality is good. It lasts me. I wear it every single day. So I know the design, my manufacturers and the quality, that's not the problem. The problem is knowing who to get it to. Because that's how you create that viable business that you're talking about, where it's not just like you're donating these clothes. It's like, or you're doing it as a hobby. It's you make money, but you can sustain continued design and continued selling this brand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the issue. I don't think the designs are the issue. I think I have a good grasp on.
No, I agree.
Design taste.
I think you have to be able to design T-shirts for $29, even if your price.
But that's the issue. It's like, how do you become a brand where you could sell a T-shirt for more than $29?
Oh no, you build a customer base
You
first.
start at 29 and then you just like
of
work your
course.
way
You
up.
build a customer base, and then if they like your product, then they'll pay up.
Why can't you just? What's the problem with just going straight to like high quality, high price? What's the problem there?
The problem
don't
there
trust you.
is you don't have the audience.
You're not established.
Yeah, no established yet.
So you kind of have to. Well, then you're trading off quality, and that's not one of the pillars of. That's not why I created Truffles, though. It's just something you have to do. Is it like for example, school? You just like you have to go to school. No one really likes it. You just have to do it. Something you just have to do, or what? But then you're not gonna get repeat customers. I don't know.
No, you have a decent quality. You're not in it to make a big profit margin, but you're in it to gain a customer base. You're building. You know what mortgage companies do? We sell our loans at cost, where we make nothing, in order to compete with other companies and build this customer base. Once people get used to our system, to our people, and they like us, then we're able to. And that could last years. You know what Uber did? Uber was working for 2-3 years for making zero money.
I remember hearing this.
And they just wanted to kill the taxi industry. Once they built this giant customer base, now they're charging the restaurant, they're charging the drivers up the yin yang. They charge the ride that cost $50. They keep like almost 30% of it or 40% of it. $20 goes to Uber. Every single ride, then they became profitable. I'm not saying I want you to be profitable. I'm saying you need to build a customer base.
I have an idea then. I make the same quality stuff, but I start it low, and then once I have that established brand, then I charge what it's actually worth.
For sure.
Oh, you think that's a good idea? So, for example, these shorts that I designed, the ones that are $33.
Shorts, in my opinion, do them with slugs.
Okay, but just hear me out.
The next collapse with slugs.
Hear me out. These shorts are $33 a unit. Like that's very expensive. That's very, very expensive for shorts. So, what I think a regular person should sell them for, if I were to give business advice, would be like $90. But for me, maybe I could just sell them for like $60 or whatever, $50, $60, not make too much money, but build like. People buy that short and they're like, oh, this is a good brand. I'm going to follow them and I'm going to support their next drop. And then the next drop, I increase it. Or just like, slowly inch my way up to what it's actually worth.
Look.
Or is that a bad idea?
Do a collab with slugs and do a collab with your buddy. Both shirts and shorts. Basic.
Okay, I can do that.
Do both.
I've done a Slunks collab though.
Yeah, and it worked out good.
You think I should do another one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could do one for this summer.
You know why you're doing this? The collab with Slugs? You're getting the price points. You're figuring out your cost per item. You're figuring out your profit margin. You're not doing it to continue forever to do collabs with Slugs.
Yeah.
You're doing it to break away, but you're not ready to break away.
Yeah.
You need to establish the price point, the marketing, the cost.
That's not a bad idea.
The shipping. Actually. So I would do a collab with Slugs and I would do a collab with your buddy.
Well, I have two designs. We could do. Yeah, I have an idea actually. Yeah, I have an idea.
And both. Maybe the place that sells shorts can also sell your T-shirts. It's okay to share whatever. You know, the idea is to grab market shares and do fulfillment. And, you know, eventually, to be honest with you, the way I see your business is you're gonna have to sell not directly to consumer. You have to figure a way to sell to a Costco, to a Walmart, to Sam's Club, to a distributor.
Like a Nordstrom.
Nordstrom, if you get to that level, you're made it, buddy. You gotta build it up. Target, and then you gotta...
I'm not going to Target.
Nobody starts at the ladder and there, look.
But like just take for example.
But my concept is eventually you have to do a design and sell it to a distributor.
Yeah.
Even for a low margin.
Yeah.
Because this selling directly to the consumer is a completely different world.
Yeah. No, I understand.
How can you
That's how you like wholesale.
How can like almost a wholesale?
Yeah.
How can
it's
you
exactly like the mortgage? It's so weird the parallels like that. Fashion has to other things. Like fashion has so many parallels, like the music industry, but like even with mortgage industry, it's like weird that you can draw those like.
Yeah, no, I could see if your margin is less, but you're selling to a distributor or somebody who's already established in a direct to consumer channel. Because building a direct consumer channel is, if you will be successful the day you start selling to Nordstrom. Then
you're already successful if you're selling it. No, you're already successful if you're selling Nordstrom.
But guess what? Those buyers for Nordstrom are always looking for new designers and new fulfillment people.
How I see it is, I feel like I'd be successful once I can post an Instagram story that says I dropped a new collection and it will sell out.
Then you're talking about direct to consumer still channel. And that one requires a lot of followers on social media, celebrity endorsements.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think the ads directing to your website is the direction to go. You have to start thinking. You make the design and you sell all 50 shirts.
Yeah, honestly, no.
The next design.
Like it's a trend now, or not a trend, but like people don't want to feel like they're being sold to nowadays, which is the issue. Like you can't just be like straight up, yo, buy this, I'm dropping this. It's like no, you have to add like layers to it. You have to like have like a deeper aspect to it. Right?
Yeah, people want to buy what's trendy today. That's why I'm buying on Cloud. I'm not buying Nikes anymore, right? It's a shoe. They all feel the same. Their looks wise not any better than the other ones. It's just people are always looking for the latest and greatest, right? They want to come up with something new.
No, actually, I feel like OnCloud's probably doing something similar to Uber because like right now you can get an OnCloud for $100 or whatever.
Yeah, but people say the Hoka is a better shoes than the OnCloud, but one took off and the other one didn't. And OnCloud got the celebrities like Federer.
Yeah.
And this is Swiss shoes with a Swiss athlete that's loved. They got a little formula going on there.
Mm-hmm.
They probably could have done. They probably were around for 10 years and they didn't even get on the map.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, how can you compete with Nike with the established name and the billions of dollars they spend on stores and marketing and all the athletes that endorse them? You know what I mean? To break in with the giants is it takes a lot of years, takes a lot of money, and it's a hit or miss. You could even have the celebrity endorsement and still don't make it. And the celebrity, you have to give them a cut of your profit, right?
Yeah. A lot of celebrities nowadays want like a percentage of the
Yeah.
company even too.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they? If it takes off, then they say we made it take off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I liked was what Shaquille O'Neal did in his investments world. He said he learned from Jeff Bezos. He said when he retired from basketball, these guys, they get a lot of people offering them, oh, this is a startup company here, this is a start. Actually, Shaquille O'Neal, Starbucks, when they were in the early stages, they came to them, and he's like, I can't relate to this. Black people don't drink coffee. And he passed on Starbucks, and it was a stupid move. However, he listened to Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos said you need to invest in companies that will change the world. So when they presented him with a small company startup called Google at the time, he invested in it.
Really?
And I don't have to tell you how much money he made out of Google. It was even before it became, but Google changed the world. I mean, ChatGPT is doing it now, and maybe AI is doing it now. But you got to figure out a way to something that. Look at what Uber did to the world. Look at what Airbnb did to the world. Look at what Amazon. These companies change the world. So I like that idea. You invest in companies that I think will change the world. And that's like, now it's AI. Now it's like, if you know how to implement AI to work for you, if you can figure out to use AI to help you with your designs.
I do.
Yeah.
Like I use Adobe Firefly. Do you know what that is?
I thought there's something like a ChatGPT for graphic designs.
It's called Adobe Firefly. You can literally type in, create an image of blah 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 or whatever, and like take that graphic. Obviously, it's not gonna be perfect. You have to like tweak it. You still have to like touch it up. I mean, it's not gonna be able to like produce a collection. Maybe one day it will, but like
it will be
one day. It can't right now. Yeah, probably, but right now it's like it's just like a, how do you say, like a supplement to design. So like even with like the remove background, like do you know what that is? You can like put an image into Photoshop, click one button, and it removes the background. That's like it's like a simple way that a lot of graphic designers use AI in design, but I don't know. It's very controversial when you get into like AI in the design space. Like how do you constitute if it's art or not? If a human doesn't make it, is it still art? Like all these kinds of things, and is it gonna be good? Like how do you? Who's to
I
say
see sometimes on
good?
Instagram models that are AI models, and I'm like shocked at how realistic and how beautiful they can. It's like it's like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Is that gonna be the next? Is that how it's gonna be? Like when you do marketing, you use AI models. You don't have to pay somebody.
I don't. The issue there is like people want to connect with someone. You can't really have that like connection with someone when you use AI.
That's a good point.
There's like still like that personal aspect when you follow someone on social media.
I wouldn't do anything expensive now. You need to turn the money. So the money.
Well, would you be opposed to me selling it for like slim profit margins just to grow my following? Would you be opposed to that?
But
you'd be opposed?
I would no. Not
oh, you're okay with
that?
Okay.
But it's what you're doing right now is you're building a customer base. You're hoping that these guys become repeat customers. That's all you're trying to do right now. Because then when you accumulate several thousand customers and you have a drop, then it could go into their emails.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a pretty good mailing list. I have like 300 people signed up to
How much? How many?
300.
Yeah, you need about 3,000.
I mean,
you gotta build it up.
Not bad.
You gotta build it up.
For how many followers I have.
Yeah, you gotta build it up.
That's like, my conversion rate of followers to people who actually buy is really high since I have such a low follower. It's like, 10%, which is insane. Like,
yeah, if you maintain that 10% with 3,000.
Yeah, which is insane.
Then it would be,
obviously, it's exponential, so it's gonna decrease as you have more followers.
Good. No, I like your direction.
I like this idea of like the key takeaways of like selling it for, even though it's like a super high quality like kind of expensive for me, selling it for like maybe like a little bit less than what I actually should sell it for, like slimmer profit margins, just so I can get that audience and like get eyeballs on it and get followers.
Yeah.
To eventually get repeat customers. The second thing is I like the Slunks collab idea. I actually want to do that. The reason you brought it up like in winter time, and I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea. Because it matters the seasons too when you're making the clothing. Like it really matters.
What you can do is you can sell something for $39 and then do a $10 off to do a $29, and then see how many you're gonna be able to sell at $39 and how many you're gonna be able to sell at $29. That could be another strategy. Because people always want to get a deal when they buy stuff. But I don't know how many you're gonna be able to sell at the $39. But I'm assuming that the correct price point is $29.
Yeah. No, I think what I'm gonna do with some of the leftover stuff is I'm gonna make a tab in my website that just says like archives, like all my old stuff. Put it in there and put it like whatever, 20% off, and then whatever's new, I'm not gonna discount that since it's new. But the old stuff, people will be able to like bundle with the old stuff. You don't have to call it
archive. It's just a different design.
No, I'm just gonna call it archive.
No, archive makes it sound like it's an old thing, but I don't.
It is.
You just discount it. You just put these sale items. That's all.
Archive.
No, archive doesn't sound good in the fashion world. Archive meaning it's last season.
I think there's well, actually, archive
sounds like it's last season.
Well,
archive is what you store something that's not in.
It is last season.
No, don't just. It's just a different design and it's on sale. Sale items. That's it.
Sale.
Yeah.
Archive.
No, archive sounds.
I think archive has a different definition.
Archive definitely meaning it's outdated.
Archive has a different definition nowadays. Archive means like vintage.
Not current. Archive meaning it's not current.
But like it has a different. I think it has a different meaning nowadays because people do archive sales, and like that's like something that's really big in the fashion industry. Archive sales. Have you heard of them? Have you heard of archive sales? Dad, have you heard of archive sales?
Archive sales, no.
Okay, but yeah, we covered some good ground. I like what we talked about.
Okay.
And yeah, I have some good ideas. Oh, we were talking about the Slunks collab lastly. I like the idea of doing a Slunks collab now because it's spring summer, so people actually want shorts. But like doing it in the winter time, you brought it up and I was like, no, it just didn't make sense. But now it does make sense, so I would do it. And I have a design.
People need shirts and t-shirts.
Do you want to see the design? Do you want to see the design?
Do you
want to see the design?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll get that.
Yeah. Good.